March 2019, Majestic Events was supposed to shut down. Wow. We were going to close business.
Lifetime goals. This is a word that you used in the series and you talked about at length. But for the sake of, because I think this is one that I'd like us to briefly define and then define it theoretically and then define it what it means for Marion, because this is also very personal. So what are lifetime goals, briefly defined?
Well, lifetime they're goals, right? Where you want to get to, but the difference, it's about your life. Lifetime, that's why the word lifetime. So these are goals that can never ever be completed. These are goals that you can never say you can check off a list. These are goals that you can do till you die. These are goals that keep you going even if you are in a survival stage, which the pandemic, again, those who will come after this pandemic, they clearly can tell that maybe their events business will get them to their lifetime goal. Yeah.
Now, what does it mean for you? So my understanding of lifetime goals is these are not for the business per se. This is actually for the business owner. So what are Marion's lifetime goals?
Back then, I got Chuck Blakeman's book in 2014 or 2013. So at that time, my lifetime goal was, and this was made public even to my team, was to do what I love, okay? So that I can get time to spend time with those I love.
Oh, wow, okay.
So I can give to those who need love. That was my first lifetime goal.
Really? Handbag selected.
It sounds so good. Like love. It was love.
Wait,
love.
But that's a fantastic. So what changed? Is it still a lifetime goal?
The thing is, it got the same response as you did. I mean, wouldn't you love to have that? What's your lifetime goal? I probably might go back, but if you asked people so I made that also the vision for Majestic, which meant my team needed to know that. But every time I asked them, do you know what your vision is? They'd be like, love something, something, something. So it was just good on paper, but we were not living it out, But I really wanted to keep doing that which I love, yes, so that I could now spend time with family and friends. That's very important to me, because sometimes we work so much, that we don't have time to spend with our wives, our husbands, our kids, our family members. We can't go for birthdays. We can't go for, Parents' Day, kids' concerts. We can't do that. And well, for me, this is important. And why that became important to me is because I was the kind of student that never did extracurricular activities. So when there was something, honestly, my parents didn't see that I was not performing in sports. I was not doing anything, And then when I went to high school and I was taught, I discovered African dancing, literally like traditional dancing. Then I started going for festivals, but I didn't tell anyone. So when I came to campus, I remember when I was in South Africa, I invited my family. That was the first time ever. And just having them, I remember my dad came slightly late. He busted through those doors. It's like my daughter is on stage, And how I felt was unbelievable, to know that my father was in the audience, so that my mom was there. And then the next day, because it was a 3-day concert, they brought my siblings. It felt so good. So I'm like, I don't ever want to miss out on this. If I'm going to do a business, I must have time to have with my family and my friends. And then now there's the part of giving back. I've always wanted to give back to the community in terms of charity. So it hasn't changed per se, but it's still about doing what you love And what I love doing is helping others. So that's what it has changed. Now, helping people can mean helping event planners, helping business owners. I can do this forever. Because I've been doing these videos, I'm not being paid for them. And I still wake up, I still have that psyche to do it. You know, if someone asks me for an inquiry, I can still do it. You know, that's where I'm at. Yeah.
Well,
have I confused you?
yes, you have. Yes, you have.
Okay.
So I remember there was lifetime goals, but the reason why we do business is so that, and I guess now I will go back to my earlier question. I'm still trying to figure out, so where did you go wrong by letting go, by delegating, because you grew to the point where you delegated your business. If you delegated your business to the point so that you could spend time with family, so that you could spend time with the people you love, then there wasn't anything wrong with that.
No,
so
but
where did things go south?
I stopped checking. I stopped checking, Kimari. There's a book my friend got me because clearly she thought I needed the help, called Don't Sweat the Small Stuff. Because if I'm a perfectionist, if anything goes wrong, Kimari, if you come late for my meeting, I would somewhere you like, no problem. So she got me that book. She got me the trilogy, and there's Don't Sweat the Small Stuff at Work. As a manager, you do not get what you inspect. Sorry, as a manager, you don't get what you expect. You get what you inspect. I wasn't inspecting. I would tell you, do, and I assume you've done. And I wasn't checking because my team had done very well. But remember, you also need to start checking. And then also, I had taken now the role of operations again. But as I was taking on the role of operations, what did I do? I dropped sales. Because now I have a sales team. Before I knew it, there were no sales coming in.
So what I hear you saying, therefore, it's a journey. You don't drop, you delegate, but manage.
Yes.
And the managing part is what you...
Yes, I gave her, I dropped too soon. I dropped too soon.
Okay.
I dropped too soon. I should have still done the sales until I waited for my team. As I remember the 6 months, until I waited for until it became now, but I was so quick to say, operations, now sit in the office, make sure everything is going well, perfect.
Okay. Now, in the series, one of the videos we covered, you covered was the big why. And it's in the big why that, the big why here being, so why are you in business? And one of the things we covered was your lifetime goals. The other thing that you covered was your ideal lifestyle. Now, I want to go back to a comment we had mentioned before. Have you ever taken a holiday? I presume that perhaps a lot of people will have one of the items in the ideal lifestyle is I can be able to take a holiday and not have to think about the money. Not have to think about, where I need to go. For so long as I know where I need to go, I'm not going to think about the budget behind it. It is there. My question to you is, did you ever hit any of your, lifestyle goals? And now back to our earlier question about the gap between the Marion back then and now. Are there some things that have changed in your lifestyle?
Okay.
Yes.
All right. So
I hope this is not too personal.
Nah, this is my channel, so I will answer. Okay. My ideal lifestyle at that time was I wanted to own a house Chuck Bakeman talks about getting to maturity phase in 5 years. So I wanted to start paying for my house in 2018. Yeah, that didn't work because of the dip I went through. I wanted to buy another car. I didn't. It didn't work. I wanted to go on holiday. Yes, I've gone on holiday and paid for myself. Yes, it's been awesome. That's been great. And then being in the events industry, it's very easy because now you know the good deals. And then these are the people who, most of the time, sometimes we don't pay as much because they also want business from us. So yes, but did I achieve? No, I haven't achieved yet. I'll be very honest. And that's why I still keep going. Yes, I wanted to own, but I was living in a good place. I was living in a good place, had a good car at the moment, but I wanted to always buy another car. I wanted to have a 4-bedroomed house that I owned and stuff like that. So no, I haven't achieved that yet.
Okay. So then, how do you, in a way, let me tap into that. There are many people who are running their businesses and yet haven't achieved their, ideal lifestyle goals. What would you tell them so that they don't get disheartened? Because it's very easy.
Yeah.
You've been pushing to, for example, buy the car. So you hit that place where you bought your first car. But there's a wedding planner who keeps being, let's get real, has just met a client, or the client has requested, could we meet at a particular site? And that site is, public means doesn't get there. Well, now in the days of Uber, it's probably not that big a challenge, but they haven't met or achieved any of their ideal lifestyle goals. What would you tell them so they don't get disheartened?
First and foremost,
They don't give up.
First and foremost, if you're out there and that's you, you're not the only one. Because as far as I'm concerned, I haven't. And it's a struggle that I always have to keep dealing with almost on a daily, to keep telling myself. And what keeps me going is my lifetime goals. What keeps me going is that goal. I may not have arrived, but it keeps me going. And I know now that I'm actively working towards my lifetime goal, I know I will get there.
Okay.
Yeah.
But how about the ideal lifestyle? Because we get caught up with that. You see, lifetime goals is very intrinsic. It is what will keep pushing you to, and like you said, it's never ending. But the ideal lifestyle, there are planners out there who are going like, Marion could eat out as regularly as she wanted.
Man, Ole Sereni, please,
Yeah.
I'm coming.
She could do all that, but they can't. And that for them is a genuine struggle where they go like, I wish that was my lifestyle.
Okay.
Actually, they want it to be their lifestyle, but it's not their lifestyle yet. What would you tell them so they don't get disheartened and give up on their ideal lifestyle? Not their lifestyle goals, but their ideal lifestyle.
The ideal lifestyle is keep going. Always, when you wake up in the morning, and if you listen to any business leader, they will always say they have a routine, which I've talked a little bit about in the productivity series. Have a routine. And what I do is I wake up, I have my personal quiet time with God, and then I work out, and then I listen to something motivational. What would keep me going is that motivational thing that I'd listen to or what I would read. So I would say, as you keep going, surround yourself with the right things, with the right people, and whatever you feed on the right things as well. Because I'll talk about myself. There are things I have not achieved. I should have been further than where I am if it had not been for that 2015, 2017 time. Oh, that would have been perfect. But I haven't. So what keeps me going is, sometimes I do get low, but what keeps me going is what I listen to, the people I surround myself with who encourage me. That gets me going. Please don't forget, I don't want to sit here and say that I have never wanted to quit. Because believe it or not, March 2019, Majestic Events was supposed to shut down. Wow. We were going to close business. Not because it was not bringing money. If anything, from 2018 now, things really started improving. And I guess now that's why you see the Marion that you see now. But I did not have anything to give to people, anything to give back to Majestic. I felt like I had given it all to this company. I didn't have any fresh ideas. And I was ready to give up. And it's okay. There are people who've actually said, you know what? This is not working. Move it. And I was ready. I was like, there's no shame in shutting down. There's no shame in closing down. I've made my mark. I'm moving on.
That's a profound statement. Not everybody gets that. Hey, even I don't think I fully get that. That there's no shame in closing.
There's no shame. I mean,
Because the way it's seen as failure.
Yeah, I went on holiday. I was in a
Finally.
Yes, but it wasn't. It was sponsored by family because I really needed it. I lost my mom, and I went back to Majestic that was not doing too well, and in 2018 I think my dad just looked at me and said, "Marion, is your passport even still valid? You know, maybe you should just go." So I had some money, but then he helped. But I was going on a very bad trajectory. I needed to get away, and I keep saying, surround yourself with the right people, because they can tell when you're going into an issue. Yeah, so I went, and when I came back, I thought that when I went to the States, I would see. In fact, I had told a very close event planner friend of mine, Tasha. I told her, we had discussed make appointments with wedding planners in Atlanta and go meet them, see how they do their business. Da, 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 da. I had made this plan. When I got there, all I did was anything but business. I did a lot of eating, a lot of laughing. I saw sides of myself because I was carefree. But when I came back, now you're getting onto Emirates and you're coming back from especially that Dubai stretch, you're like, wow, I'm going back. And that's when it dawned on me, like, honestly, I wasn't happy to come back. Not because I was not going to have a holiday, but I wasn't looking forward to going to work. I had nothing to give. I was tapped out,
So this is a perfect place to close, in my opinion. Having gone through everything you've gone through, you started a business. First and foremost, you are employed at a place where you didn't really enjoy at some point.
Now I was dealing with trucks. Look at this.
Trucks.
Yes,
Trucks,
trailers.
Trailers.
Can I change it?
Wow.
Trailers.
That's
I was
such
dealing
a
with
huge disconnect.
airbags, turbos, what other one? Landing jack. I was doing all that.
You moved from there to wedding planning, did a successful transition, grew the business to the point where it had reached, success stage. And then after that, it's dipped almost to the point of closing, like you said. And then finally, you've reached the point where you're training other people. If there was that one thing you would tell anybody who's watching, I think you've pretty much gone through it all. Yeah. And now you're back.
I hope so, because I don't want to go back. I don't want to go back.
What you have gone through so far.
Yeah.
If there was that one thing, let's call it the parting shot. If there was that one thing that one takeout that you would want to tell someone who is starting their business, not someone who's been in it, someone who's starting their business. If you never meet them, then this is the one thing you would have to give them so that they have a successful career ahead. What is that one thing you tell them?
Wow. When you started that question, I knew what I was going to say. Then you tweaked it again to say someone who wants to start. I would say, make sure you know your big why. Why do you want to start your business? Because if you have your big why, then no matter what happens, regardless how discouraging it gets, because it does get discouraging, you will somehow get back. Can I say two things? Have your big why.
I know what you're about to say.
Try me.
The second one.
Try me.
Surround yourself.
No. The second one would be lifelong learning.
Okay.
The reason why I felt that I had nothing to give in to Majestic was because that was 2018, because I think the last time I read a book or attended a class was in 2014.
Oh, wow.
Because you've gone to school, right? You've got your degree. I got my master's. And then I read Chuck Blake and I'm like, now I am solid. If I just do this, if I just follow this book, I'm good. I don't need to read another. And then, of course, life happens. And then you don't do it. Yeah. then what changed?
So what you're saying, lifelong learning is
Keep
never
learning,
stop learning.
never stop. Do short courses, apply for not degrees, but go for short courses, go for workshops, watch business leaders, follow them, listen to their podcasts. There's always something to learn.
Especially in this digital age.
Exactly. There's always something to learn. I mean, what switched it for Majestic, when I was supposed to shut down in March, what happened was I applied for a course, a digital marketing course. Because for me, I just wanted to know, what is the hula baloo, guys? What is the hula baloo? Why is it important? And again, that's one of the reasons why the people who I collaborate with, that's why they went higher than me. Because I refuse to embrace technology, right? So when I went to that class, when we were talking about the different things, and I think it's the day before we were being taught about YouTube, and my lecturer is talking, that's when I had my light bulb moment. And from that light bulb moment, I was introduced to someone. Again, don't stop networking. Yeah. So I went for a network event, Win Africa, the launch. We were talking about what we want to do for the year. I say, oh, I want to do XYZ. Kanye refers me to someone, to Eunice, who is now my consultant, who has worked with me all this time. I go to Eunice, have 2 meetings. She looks at my company and she puts these amazing things on the wall about Majestic, not about the past, but what we can do. I'm like, oh, wow. And that's why we're here today.
So I guess then, because that was actually what I just said, which is as a third thing, surround yourself.
Correct.
Surround yourself with the right people.
Yeah.
Because throughout I heard you mention people.
Okay.
Throughout
That's why.
people.
I was wondering if it's around. Okay.
Barack of A to Z, Natasha of Majestic Events, Catherine Masitsa, the CEO of Samanthas Bridal. Surround yourself with people. This has been a very enlightening conversation for me. I didn't foresee that I would learn some things. Like the one thing that has stood out for me is what you've said. Surround yourself with people. And you go far. Well, as they say, if you want to go fast, go alone. If you want to go far,
I want to go far. I mean, look at you. You're here, guys. If you can clap for him, because that's how I ended up collaborating with you at Samantha's Bridal and working with you behind the scenes and on stage. That's why we're here today. That was February this year.
That was February this year.
And now the relationship has grown. Yeah. You're doing this for me. Let's look about. We're here at Aquatronics studio right now.
Shout out to Sanjeev,
man. Thank you so much. I mean, this place is amazing. And guess what? He has allowed me to come, and we've worked together over, I think, 3 to 4 years. We started very closely when we did Luxury Showcase. So network and surround yourself with the right people. That's why we're here. So a big thank you to Sanjeev. So I know to people who watched my videos, they always complain about my lighting. So I am very sure this video is going to be sorted. Yeah. So yeah.
Ladies, gentlemen, guys, you're watching this video, and there are lots of terminologies we have mentioned here. Guess what? They're all explained in the Business Maturity series, which you will catch in this channel, Majestic Events Kenya. So please check it out. They are short 10-minute videos, approximately 10-minute videos, but they are life-changing. If you are in any form of business, but more so if you're in the wedding planning business, the Business Maturity series is something that you should definitely watch. In addition, Marion has opened up this conversation where you get to see the real side of the journey of businesses maturing. She's going to have on board a few other planners, I believe.
Yes, who are way better than I, who have better stories than I do, and who I admire.
So please, check that out. And if you don't want to miss these videos as they're being uploaded, well, all you need to do is subscribe and please click on the bell icon so you can get notifications when they come. Then the last thing we would ask is, if you found anything that we discussed here, something that either made you laugh, made you cry, made you cringe inside, please leave a like of this video. It really helps push this video so that more people can be able to see the amazing conversation we have had. So up until the next video, Marion,
Yeah.
please say bye on our behalf.
Until next week, have yourselves a wonderful week and see you next week.